Hot off the press, Acer's release of the Triton 500 and the Nitro 5 coming at you right now. I'm Benji Kaiser, and you're watching Don't Tech With Me. Don't Tech With Me is a tech show built for creative professionals talking all about laptops and the gear surrounding them. So whether you're a video editor, graphic designer, photographer, 3D animator, whatever it might be, you're looking for the right gear for your creative specialty, well, you're in the right place. This is where we break down all the technical nuances and talk about what really will help you design, edit, even better. Today, we're talking about the Acer Triton 500 and the Nitro 5 from Acer. Now, these two laptops have just hit the press, and the official press release from Acer has come out, and I'm really excited to dive in and talk about what we have coming out this year. And these two laptops are actually scheduled to hit the market in the US in May. Now, with all the craziness going on in this time period, I don't know if it will hit in May. That is what they are hoping for. So we're hoping to see early May to mid-May, and we will see these laptops on the market. If you head on over to Benji Kaiser in the near future, I'll get a full review on both of these laptops. So I'll link that up in the YouTube cards above or the description below when that video comes out on my other channel. But right now, we are talking about what has come out in the press release as it sits right now. So let's dive into this content. The first thing I want to talk about is both of these laptops have the latest 10th gen processors. So the Nitro 5 has the i5 10300H, and the Triton 500 has the i7 570H processor. So these are both the latest updates of the high performance processors that we find most common in gaming laptops and laptops for creative professionals. They both come with the latest RTX and GTX GPUs. The RTX is in the Triton 500, and the GTX is in the Nitro 5. They both have improved cooling systems, and we're seeing a higher color gamut range in both laptops, and we'll jump into that when we're talking about each laptop specifically. I have Wi-Fi 6 cards for faster wireless internet, and they're promising 7.5 hours of battery life out of the new Triton 500. Now, that's simply for more like productivity tasks like surfing the web or working in Word or Google Docs on, the Google Drive, but still an improved battery life for a gaming laptop. That's a big deal. I mean, getting improved battery life is really something we want to be looking at more and more, especially for creative professionals being on the go. But let's dive in specifically to the Acer Triton 500 and talk about what the newest model looks like and if it's worth diving into that 2020 model or if you should get the previous iteration. We'll talk about that right now. All right, so let's jump over here, check out the slide again. Like I said, release date early May. You're looking at around $2,100 to $2,200 for this model. Obviously, depending on maybe deals, if it's on Best Buy or B&H or Amazon, prices may vary, but that's where they're setting the MSRP at. Now, this Intel i7 10750H processor on Passmark. Let me show you this real quick. On Passmark, they're promising about 41% faster speed. So you see here on Passmark, these are the estimated speeds that they're looking at for this new CPU. So the CPU mark rating here versus the i7 9750H. If that is true, if their data is correct, then we are looking at a very substantial boost in power. Now, I won't know that personally until I get them here in the studio and we test them out and see what they can do. But that is a pretty solid, promising CPU boost compared to last year's model, because what I was anticipating was around maybe a 18 to 25% boost in power. I've been comparing a lot of the Radeon versus Intel processors. I'm actually going to have a video coming out in the next couple of days on this channel about that, about comparing Intel versus AMD and which one is really taking lead in the battle. But if we can see a 41% boost in power, man, that could be incredible. But then again, like I said, got to get them in the studio to find out. Next, you have the NVIDIA RTX 2080 Super Max Q. Again, that GPU is going to be a little bit faster, going to give you a little bit better render times, and it's going to help with your playback. So when you're in Premiere Pro, you're seeing about 60 to 70% CPU usage, depending on how high quality a playback you're trying to do as you're watching the timeline. And then you're seeing about anywhere from 16 to 30% of the GPU support. So that GPU does help out when you're playing back in the timeline, but even more so with the rendering of video files and animation files. All right, we're gonna have about 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of SSD, and now with this new 300 hertz refresh rate. So if you're a gamer and you want to, do some video editing, but then you also like to game on the side, this panel has a very fast refresh rate. So that's good. I don't game much, so like for me, it's kind of weird talking about the gaming aspects. I don't say that I don't game much. I don't game at all, but I know that's important to people, and especially that this is a gaming laptop. That's good to have. Now, one thing that gets me excited is they are promising a 100% sRGB color gamut range. Now, that is not the Adobe color gamut range or the DCI-P3 color gamut, but that is a very great color gamut for this type of refresh rate on the screen. So that's something you want to definitely keep in mind. You have a high refresh rate and you have an excellent color accuracy. Those two don't often run hand in hand. So if you're a gamer and you're also a designer, video editor, photographer, this is really a sweet laptop because it combines both the gaming feature and the color accuracy feature. So really good there. All right, we'll keep looking through some of these shots here. As you see, they come with all metal 4th generation Aero Blade 3D fan system. So this fan system was designed specifically for maximum airflow, which is extremely important to cool all this power that we're seeing here as they continue to improve this laptop more and more. So you have 5 new heat pipes, 45% increase in airflow, and 33% better thermal performance over the 2019 model. So I'm stoked to see them continuing to make efforts and kill it and actually land on efforts improved in these laptops. And you see how thin and light this laptop is. I had this in the studio a few months ago. I had the 2019 model, and I was really impressed with how thin and light this is. I compared it to the MacBook Pro because it was only about 3 to 6 ounces heavier than the MacBook Pro. So that's what's up. And this is the keyboard. I love the keyboard. It's got that multi-light. You can program this and set this up however you want. All right, let's jump into the Acer Nitro 5. Now, the reason I really think this is a great laptop is right here. This budget is phenomenal. So currently, I am a huge fan of the Acer Concept D3 and the i5 model. That's where you have 100% color accuracy in DCI-P3 and basically 100% color accuracy in Adobe RGB per my own tests. This laptop runs in at about $250 cheaper than that laptop, and you have the latest i5 10th Gen 300H processor, which according to Passmark, I'm going to jump back over here, which according to Passmark is about a 16.6 boost in power from the i5 ninth generation. Sorry, I'm getting a little mixed up. From the i5 9th generation. So a boost in power there. You're going to get a little bit faster GPU, and you're going to see better color accuracy. So the color gamut range is a 72% NTSC, which equals around 99% sRGB. Now, that's not a fact. Like I said, I'm about to get these laptops into the studio and test them out and really see like what they're capable of, because these are all, some of these are estimations on my part, and a lot of this stuff comes straight from the press release. But then again, like personally, I just like to make sure of the stuff I'm saying. So we take all of this with a grain of salt, but this is the official press release here with the 72% of NTSC color gamut range. This right here is my kind of estimation. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna have a 300 nit panel. That's from the press release. So it's gonna have a nice bright panel, and we're seeing 25% better thermal performance than the 2019 model. So really stoked about this. This one isn't as thin and as light, but it is very close. I mean, you just look at this comparatively. It is very close to the thin and light. It's more of a it's a high quality plastic build, where this one is more of an all metal build. It has an all aluminum build on it, which is the Triton 500. All right, so this the reason we're getting better cooling is they have a dual cooling system that it takes advantage of 4 intake/exhaust vents, and is now capable of faster fan boost speeds, leading to an increase in fan speed by about 10%. So you're going to see about 25% better thermal performance out of the 2020 model. So really, let's jump into overall my thoughts on, what are we thinking from 2019 to 2020. For the Acer Nitro, I'm seeing about a 16+% increase in performance, and it's at this same price point. So for me, it would make sense, unless you want to get maybe a pre-owned model of 2019, or you want to try and maybe find, go to Best Buy and find like maybe they're closing out, and like, when you go to a car dealership and they're like last year's model getting blowouts, maybe you're going to do that. But if you're going to go price for price, man, this 2020 model is actually a great improvement for the Acer Nitro 5. The Triton 500, I'm even more excited about because they've increased the color accuracy. You have a 300 hertz screen if you're a gamer, and you're going to have the possibility of around 44% increase in CPU. Now, like I said, that's a guesstimation. We don't know that for sure, but with that possibility, I'm really excited about that laptop because it's thin and light. It's all aluminum. It has a 300 hertz screen. It's got great color accuracy, and they're looking at great improvements in performance. So it looks awesome. I'm not going to lie. I'm not just going to go all out and get all crazy, but I'm excited about these two laptops. I'm excited to get in and test them out. All right, well, that's for the episode today on the latest press release coming out from Acer. This is where you're going to find your latest tech news as it relates to creative professionals and as it relates to wanting to explain tech in a more simplified way. I hope I've done that today. I'm continuing to work on that. Some of the videos coming out in this coming week are going to be a breakdown of all the AMD processors and all the Intel processors and helping understand the numbering system, where they rank, because that can often be very confusing, the rank of the processors. So definitely keep an eye out on the channel for that information. If you want laptop reviews, head on over to my other channel, Benji Kaiser. That's where I do all hands-on laptop reviews. But these two channels I have to complement one another and help you get the latest tech news and latest tech reviews. I'm Benji Kaiser. You've been watching Don't Tech With Me, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.